Ladies and gentlemen, we have the winners for documentary feature for O.J. Made in America, Ezra Edelman and Caroline Waterlow. We'll start here with 149. And do I have any other questions beyond that? Hold those numbers up.
Ezra over here.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Having been a reporter who covered Rodney King and the 3 Simpson trials, I was quite taken by your documentary. I want to know, though, what in you felt the connection enough to bring about this massive effort, this documentary? And how old were you when Rodney King happened? Were you a young child? Is it part of your guts, in other words?
I guess I'm not as young as I look. I was in high school, and that was a really seminal event for me. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and when that happened, it was an awakening. It was sort of a loss of innocence as far as how innocent black men are treated in our, by the police and then ultimately in our criminal justice system. And so, look, everything about this story, the story is what it is. It's an incredible tale about our country, but, I think I definitely channeled who I am, my worldview, my relationship to O.J. as a person before those murders ever happened, but also my experience of growing up where I did with the parents I have and seeing the world the way I did. So it's hard to tell you exactly where it came from, but I'm sure some of it's all in there, yeah.
We're going to come down here to 261.
Congratulations.
Hi.
Like many other reporters in this room, I followed every second of O.J., reported on it. But I never dreamt that this many years later, it would be a conversational point. Can you understand this movie, the TV movie, why we know the outcome, why it became such a topic again, so in a sense current again?
Well, history is the present. It's past, but it's present. And I can't speak for the FX series, but I know that when we were offered the chance to make this movie, it was very clear that the story that was covered and told 20 some odd years ago, we were missing something. And we were missing the context to have us understand how we got to that moment, how we ended up where we did after that trial. There was room for more of this story to be told. And that people have responded the way they did to the film, I think speaks to that. It's an American story about these fundamental American themes: race, celebrity, class, gender, domestic abuse, the criminal justice system, the media. It's sports, sex, murder. It has everything. And so I think that's why it's always going to be something that fascinates us. And I think there's a lack of resolution considering what happened with the trial, and when many people, the majority of people, saw one thing, how it ended up was something else. And so I think there's always going to be a sense of intrigue surrounding that story. So that's my...
Yeah. Okay. Hold those numbers up, guys. Sorry. Let's go to 218, and then 185. Hold your number up, 185. Thank you.
Hi, it's Jazz from Awards Daily. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
What were some of the tougher interviews to get for the documentary?
Honestly, we interviewed 72 people. Many of them were tough. This was a story that a lot of people didn't want to revisit. They hadn't talked about it in 20 years. There were many people that wouldn't speak to us. I think that the members of the prosecution and of the jury were the hardest. They, if the prosecution, I think, got burned by the media. They were also on the wrong side of the case in terms of victory, winning or losing, and they've been reluctant to talk about this. So that 3 of the 4 main lawyers trusted us enough to participate in the film, meant a great deal. And as the jurors themselves, again, the jurors have been persecuted over the years for, their role in this case, and many people feel that they somehow didn't fulfill their duty, that Carrie and Yolanda, 2 of the 12, agreed to talk to us, was very courageous. So
we'll go to 185 and wrap it up down here with 270.
Hi, Oscar Gabriel, Associated Press Radio. You said you spoke to some of the jurors and people involved. Did any of them indicate that any of the things that they may have seen from what you talked about in the documentary might have changed the outcome of the case? Because it just seemed like there was a lot of things that were focused on that if you knew the story the way that you told it and the way many of us knew it before the trial, that we would not have seen O.J. Simpson as a victim of racism as was portrayed in the trial.
Well, I'm not sure I completely understand your question because one of the jurors in the film does talk about the influence of her feelings about Rodney King and the history of abuse within the criminal justice system that she was influenced by more so than the evidence itself in the case. And so I don't know if that answers your question, but.
And we'll wrap it here with 270. Gotta wrap.
Right here. Hi, Tanya Hart, American Urban Radio Networks. We talked with you on the carpet and had a very interesting conversation. Your mother, in particular, both of your parents have been freedom fighters and very active in this movement for a long time. What do you think they're going to say about the Oscar, and what did they say about this documentary when you finished it?
Well, first of all, I mean, I'll say you get up on stage, and it's an experience like no other, and I had some plans, and I was going to do something I rarely do, which is thank my parents. And they deserve it. They have spent their whole life working tirelessly to make this a more just and humane society. And I feel, I hope this honors them.
I can attest to the fact that they were very proud of him, and they attended our screening at Sundance, and I know they were very proud.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.